I'm so glad you're here with us today. We're diving deep into A Course in Miracles, and if you're just joining our community, you might be wondering what this course is all about. I'd love to invite you to check out the very first video on this channel, where I break down exactly what A Course in Miracles is, how it came to exist, and why it's been transforming lives for over 5 decades. It'll give you the perfect foundation for everything we explore together here. Today, we continue our journey through Chapter 6, The Lessons of Love, and we arrive at a section that reveals one of the most profound principles in the entire course, Section 7. To have peace, teach peace to learn it. Read that title again slowly. To have peace, teach peace to learn it. Not find it, not acquire it, not wait for it, but teach it. And in teaching it, you learn it, and in learning it, you have it. This circular principle sounds mysterious at first, but it contains the key to experiencing the peace you've been searching for your entire life. Let's be honest for a moment. You want peace. Everyone wants peace. You've probably spent years, maybe decades, looking for it. You've tried to create peaceful circumstances, peaceful relationships, peaceful environments. You've worked hard to eliminate conflict, avoid difficult people, arrange your life just right so that peace might finally be possible. You've read books about peace, listened to meditations about peace, maybe even prayed for peace. And yet, how often do you actually experience the deep, unshakable peace you long for? How often does that peace last more than a few moments before the next disturbance comes along and shatters it? Here's what the ego has taught you about peace. Peace is something that happens to you when external conditions are right. Peace is the absence of problems, the absence of conflict, the absence of disturbance. Peace is what you'll have when you finally get that difficult person out of your life, when you finally resolve that ongoing problem, when you finally achieve that goal you've been working toward. Peace is out there somewhere, waiting for you to find it. And your job is to manipulate your circumstances skillfully enough to create the conditions where peace can exist. But this approach has never worked, has it? You've had moments when everything seemed perfect, when all the conditions were right, and yet peace eluded you. Or you found a temporary peace that vanished the moment something went wrong. You're exhausted from trying to control everything and everyone around you in the hope that peace might finally be possible. And the harder you try, the more peace seems to slip through your fingers like water. What if everything you've been taught about finding peace is backwards? What if peace isn't something you find out there in perfect circumstances, but something you bring to every circumstance? What if peace isn't the result of an absence of conflict, but your chosen response in the presence of conflict? What if you don't learn peace by experiencing it passively, but by actively teaching it, demonstrating it, extending it, even when everything around you is chaotic? This is what A Course in Miracles teaches in this powerful section. You cannot have what you do not give. You cannot know what you do not teach. You cannot experience peace by searching for it, but only by being it, extending it, offering it to every person and every situation you encounter. Peace is not something that happens to you. Peace is something you are, and you discover that you are peace by teaching peace. This sounds completely backwards to the ego. The ego says, how can I teach peace when I don't have peace? How can I give what I don't possess? I need to find peace first, and then maybe I can share it with others. But the Holy Spirit teaches the opposite. You find peace by giving it. You have peace by teaching it. You learn peace by demonstrating it. The very act of teaching peace is what reveals to you that peace is what you are. Today, we're going to explore this transformative principle in depth. We're going to understand why teaching and learning are inseparable, what it really means to teach peace, and how your commitment to being a teacher of peace in every situation is the pathway to experiencing the unshakable peace that is your true nature. This teaching will challenge you, stretch you, and ultimately free you from the exhausting search for peace in all the wrong places. Get ready to discover that you are not a seeker of peace, but a teacher of peace. And in that teaching, you will finally learn what peace truly is. There's a principle woven throughout A Course in Miracles that appears again and again in different forms. And it's this: you learn what you teach, not the other way around. Not learn first, then teach, but teach in order to learn. This principle is so contrary to how you've been conditioned to think about teaching and learning that it deserves your careful attention, because understanding it changes everything. In the world's way of thinking, teaching comes after learning. First you master something, then you're qualified to teach it to others. First you become an expert, then you share your expertise. First you understand, then you explain. This seems logical, reasonable, and it works fine for teaching mathematics or playing the piano. But when it comes to spiritual truth, when it comes to peace and love and forgiveness, this sequence is completely backwards. Here's why. You cannot truly know something at the level of spirit until you extend it. Knowledge in the spiritual realm is not intellectual comprehension. It's experiential reality. And you experience reality not by passively receiving information, but by actively demonstrating truth. When you teach peace, when you extend it, when you offer it to a situation that seems to call for something else, you discover in that very moment that peace is not just an idea you hold, but what you actually are. Think about it this way. You might read 100 books about peace, memorize every spiritual teaching about peace, understand intellectually everything there is to know about peace. But do you have peace? Not necessarily, because intellectual understanding is not the same as experiential knowing. You can understand the concept of peace while still being anxious, agitated, and disturbed by circumstances. Understanding peace and being peace are two completely different things, but when you teach peace, something shifts. When you're in a tense situation and you choose to respond with peace instead of reactivity, you're not drawing on stored information. You're accessing what you are. You're demonstrating peace, and in that demonstration, you discover that peace was always available to you. It wasn't something you needed to find or acquire. It was already there, waiting for you to express it, extend it, teach it. This is why you cannot give what you don't have. Before you can teach peace, you must have access to peace within yourself. But here's the beautiful paradox. You discover that you have access to peace by attempting to teach it. The very act of reaching for peace to extend to a situation reveals that peace is present in you. It's like reaching into your pocket and discovering money you didn't know was there. The reaching itself is what reveals the presence. The ego teaches something very different. The ego teaches through fear, through showing you what to avoid, through punishment and consequences. The ego's teaching method says, look at how terrible this is. Look at what happens when you do this wrong thing. Learn to be afraid so you'll protect yourself. And what does this teaching actually strengthen in you? Fear. The ego teaches fear, and so you learn fear. The ego demonstrates attack, and so you learn attack. Whatever the ego teaches, that's what gets reinforced in your own mind. The Holy Spirit teaches through love, through demonstration, through showing you truth so clearly that illusions dissolve. And when you align with the Holy Spirit as your teacher, when you let Him teach through you, what are you teaching? Love, peace, forgiveness, truth. And what are you learning? The very same things. You cannot teach love without learning that you are loving. You cannot teach peace without learning that you are peaceful. You cannot teach forgiveness without learning that you are forgiving. This is the magnificent circle. Teach what you want to learn, and you will learn it through teaching it. Now let's get very clear about what it actually means to teach peace, because your ego has probably already jumped in with its interpretation, and the ego's interpretation is completely wrong. Teaching peace does not mean preaching about peace, lecturing people about how they should be more peaceful, posting inspiring quotes about peace on social media, or telling everyone how spiritually evolved you are because you've learned about peace. That's not teaching. That's the ego pretending to teach while actually reinforcing its own sense of specialness and superiority. Real teaching of peace is not verbal. It's not about your words, though your words can certainly reflect peace when they come from a peaceful place. Real teaching happens through demonstration, through your actual response to situations, through the energy you bring to every interaction, through the presence you embody when things get difficult. You teach peace by being peace, especially in circumstances where peace seems impossible or inappropriate. Imagine you're in a conflict with someone. They're angry, accusatory, attacking you verbally. The ego immediately wants to defend, counterattack, prove them wrong, make them see how unreasonable they're being. But in this moment, you have a choice. You can teach the ego's lesson of attack and defense, or you can teach the Holy Spirit's lesson of peace. If you choose peace, what does that look like? It means you don't take the bait. You don't escalate. You remain calm in your center while the storm rages around you. You respond with gentleness instead of defensiveness. You see past their anger to the fear beneath it, and you refuse to respond to fear with more fear. This is teaching peace. Not by telling them they should calm down, not by explaining how peaceful you're being, but simply by being peace in the face of chaos. Your peace in that moment teaches them something they couldn't learn any other way. That peace is possible even here, even now, even in this conflict. Your demonstration plants a seed, shows an alternative, offers a different response than the automatic escalation they expected. Here's what's crucial to understand. Teaching peace doesn't mean there's no conflict in your life. It means conflict becomes the classroom where peace is taught. The ego thinks peace means the absence of disturbance, the absence of problems, the absence of difficult people. So the ego's strategy is to avoid, escape, or eliminate anything that disturbs your comfort. But this strategy never works because you're always just one phone call, one unexpected event, one challenging person away from losing your peace. The Holy Spirit teaches something completely different. Peace is not the absence of conflict. Peace is your response to conflict. Peace is not found in perfect circumstances. Peace is brought to imperfect circumstances. You don't wait until everything is calm to be peaceful. You bring peace to the chaos, and in bringing it, you strengthen it in yourself, you deepen it, you make it real. Think about a lighthouse. The lighthouse doesn't wait for calm seas to shine its light. The lighthouse shines brightest during the storm, when the waves are crashing, when the winds are howling, when ships need guidance most. That's when the lighthouse fulfills its purpose. You are that lighthouse. Your peace is that light. And it's meant to shine not when everything is easy, but precisely when everything seems difficult. Teaching peace also means you stop requiring others to change before you can be at peace. The ego says, I'll be at peace when you stop doing that annoying thing. I'll be at peace when you see things my way. I'll be at peace when you apologize, when you change, when you behave properly. This makes your peace dependent on other people's choices, which means you're never truly at peace because you can't control anyone but yourself. But when you commit to teaching peace, you declare your independence from external circumstances. You say, I choose peace regardless of what you're doing. I choose peace not because everything is perfect, but because I am peace, and nothing you do can take that away from me unless I give it away myself. This is incredibly empowering. You're no longer a victim waiting for the world to cooperate with your need for peace. You're a teacher actively demonstrating that peace is always available, always possible, always a choice. Now we arrive at the most transformative part of this teaching. What actually happens to you when you commit to being a teacher of peace. This is where the principle moves from concept to lived reality, where you discover firsthand that teaching and learning are truly one and the same. Because every single time you teach peace, you simultaneously learn peace. Every time you demonstrate peace in a difficult moment, you strengthen peace in yourself. Every time you choose to be peaceful when the ego screams for attack, You deepen your understanding that peace is not just something you do, but what you are. Let's get practical and specific. You're stuck in traffic, running late for an important meeting. Your stress is mounting, your mind is racing with all the consequences of being late, and you can feel the tension building in your body. The ego's lesson is activating. This is terrible. This shouldn't be happening. Everyone else is a terrible driver. Your whole day is ruined. Now here's the moment of choice. You can learn the ego's lesson of frustration and victimhood, or you can teach the lesson of peace. What does teaching peace look like here? You take a breath. You consciously relax your shoulders. You say to yourself, I choose peace instead of this. Being anxious doesn't make the traffic move faster. My peace is more important than arriving on time. I am not a victim of circumstances. I am a teacher of peace, and this is my classroom right now. And in that moment of choosing peace, of teaching it even to yourself, something remarkable happens. You actually feel peaceful, not because the traffic cleared, not because the circumstances changed, but because you accessed the peace that was always available to you. That's the learning. You don't learn peace theoretically. You learn it experientially by teaching it, by demonstrating it, by being it. And each time you do this, each time you choose peace over the ego's drama, you reinforce a new pattern in your mind. You're literally rewiring your automatic responses. You're training yourself to be a consistent teacher of peace instead of an inconsistent student of the ego's chaos. This creates what the Course calls a reinforcement cycle. Teach, learn, have. You teach peace by demonstrating it in a challenging moment. In teaching it, you learn experientially that peace is available even here. In learning it, you have it. You possess it. You own it. It becomes more and more your natural state rather than something you have to struggle to access. And the more you have it, the more naturally you teach it, which deepens your learning, which increases your having. It's a beautiful upward spiral. The transformation that occurs through this practice is profound. You begin to notice that situations that used to disturb you no longer have the same power. Not because you've become numb or indifferent, but because you've trained yourself to be a teacher of peace rather than a reactor to circumstances. That difficult family member still does annoying things, but you're no longer thrown off center by it. That challenging work situation still exists, but you bring peace to it rather than letting it steal your peace. You also discover something extraordinary. When you teach peace consistently, you actually change the situations around you, not by trying to change them, not by manipulating or controlling, but simply by bringing a different energy. Your peace affects others, often without a single word being spoken. People feel different around you. Conflicts de-escalate more easily. Solutions appear more readily, not because you're doing anything magical, but because peace itself has a power that the ego's agitation lacks. Here's the commitment this teaching asks of you. Be willing to teach peace in all circumstances, without exception. Not just when it's easy, not just when you feel like it, not just with people you like, but everywhere, always, with everyone. Every moment becomes an opportunity. Every challenge becomes a classroom. Every person becomes either a student of your peace or a teacher showing you where you still need to learn. This doesn't mean you'll be perfect. You'll forget. You'll react with ego instead of peace. You'll fall back into old patterns. That's okay. That's part of the learning process. What matters is your commitment to return again and again to your role as a teacher of peace. We've reached the end of our exploration of this beautiful and deeply practical teaching from A Course in Miracles. To have peace, teach peace to learn it. Take a moment right now to let the fullness of this principle settle into your awareness, to feel how profoundly it shifts your relationship with peace from something you seek to something you embody and extend. Let's recall the essential truths we've discovered together today. We've learned that teaching and learning are inseparable, that you cannot truly know peace until you extend it, and that the very act of teaching peace is what reveals to you that peace is your true nature. We've explored what it really means to teach peace, not through words or preaching, but through demonstration, through being a living example of peace, especially in circumstances where peace seems impossible. And we've seen how committing to teach peace creates a powerful reinforcement cycle. The more you teach it, the more you learn it. The more you learn it, the more you have it. The more you have it, the more naturally you teach it. This is not just beautiful philosophy. This is your invitation to a completely different way of living. Instead of searching for peace in perfect circumstances that never quite materialize, you become a bringer of peace to every circumstance. Instead of waiting for others to change so you can finally be at peace, you teach peace regardless of what anyone else is doing. Instead of being a victim of situations that disturb you, you become a teacher who transforms disturbance into an opportunity for demonstrating peace. Every moment of your life from this point forward is a classroom. Every person you encounter is an opportunity to teach. Every challenge that arises is your chance to demonstrate that peace is not dependent on conditions, but is your choice in every condition. Will you always remember this? No. Will you sometimes fall back into the ego's pattern of reaction and defense? Of course, but now you know the way back. Now you know that peace is not something you lost and need to find. Peace is what you are, and you remember it by teaching it. As you leave this moment and return to your daily life, I invite you to make one simple commitment. Look for opportunities to teach peace today. Just today. One day of being a conscious teacher of peace. Notice what happens. Notice how you feel. Notice how situations shift when you bring peace instead of reaction. Let your own experience be your teacher and your proof. If this teaching has touched something deep within you, if you recognize the truth and power of this principle, please take a moment to click the like button below. Your support helps these transformative teachings reach others who are tired of searching for peace in all the wrong places and are ready to discover that they are peace itself. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe now. We share new content every day to support your journey with A Course in Miracles, to help you understand and apply these life-changing principles, to remind you of who you truly are when the world tries to convince you otherwise. Each video is an opportunity to deepen your learning and strengthen your commitment to being a teacher of love and peace. Please share this video with someone who needs this message. Perhaps you know someone who's exhausted from trying to find peace, who's tired of being disturbed by circumstances and other people, who's ready to learn that peace is not something to find, but something to be and to teach. Send them this video. Your sharing might be exactly what they need to shift from seeker to teacher, from student to demonstrator, from someone looking for peace to someone being peace. And I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What situation in your life is calling you to teach peace? Where have you been waiting for peace to come to you instead of bringing peace to the situation? What shifts when you see yourself as a teacher of peace rather than a seeker of peace? Share your experiences, your insights, your commitments. Your words can inspire and encourage others who are learning to teach what they most want to learn. Thank you from my heart for being here today, for opening yourself to this teaching, for being willing to shift from searching for peace to teaching peace. You are not a seeker. You are a teacher, and the world desperately needs what you have to teach. Remember, to have peace, teach peace, to learn it. This is not a distant goal. This is your present opportunity, available in every moment, with every person, in every situation. Until next time, may you teach peace, learn peace, and know yourself as the peace you extend to all.